Revolution, our mission is to preserve history, provide education and awareness of our patriot ancestors and founding fathers, and inspire patriotism in our community. This is the general membership meeting, 21 December 2024. Would you please rise for the invocation by Chaplain Philbrick.
Almighty God, we thank you for the United States of America and for our founding fathers who gave us our freedom, for the air that gives us the breath of life, and for the sun that warms us, for happy homes and friends we love, and for good food that makes us strong. May we show our thankfulness by giving as freely, advancing the causes of patriotism and education, and helping those in need. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Color Guard Commander Perkins, advance the colors.
Forward.
Hang on a second. Come on in. Come on in. Grab a seat wherever you can.
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pledge to the SAR. SAR. We, descendants of the heroes
of the American Revolution, who by their sacrifices established the United States of America, reaffirm our faith in the principles of liberty and our constitutional republic, and solemnly pledge ourselves to defend them against every foe.
Take your seats, please. Okay, so I have to tell on myself for some reason I say SAR. It's SAR. It's CAR. It's DAR. This time I'd like to introduce our guest. Sorry. And you can stand or just raise your hand. President of the State Society, Gene Henry, and his wife, Marilyn. Children of the American Revolution, Junior President Katie Scher, and her mother, Jean. At this time, I'd like to have Marilyn Henry come up and give us some remarks. I guess you have to hold us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am the president of the Ladies Auxiliary of the Missouri SAR, and the auxiliary's job, our function, is to support the SAR. And one way that we do that is to raise funds. Jean's project is to support the American History Teacher Award. And so the auxiliary is trying to raise funds for that because it costs a lot of money, and we want to do what we can to help. So that being said, I do have two fundraisers over here, and I would be pleased if you would come and look at those. Another thing I have with me is applications for the auxiliary, to join the auxiliary. If you are not already a member, it's $5 a year, so we would appreciate your joining that too. I send out a newsletter to let you know what the auxiliary is doing and what the SAR is doing. So You get a little information. We meet quarterly at the same time that men meet for their quarterly meeting. We also meet in Louisville at the national level. So those are fun to go to. Sure. I also have over there something that you, if you are in DAR, there are called finder's forms. And if you are a DAR member and you help someone to join the SAR, whether it's a relative, a neighbor, a coworker, then you send in a finder's form with that. And Rachel Donaldson being a large chapter, that would be pretty easy for your chapter to win the award that SAR gives. It's $250 for the chapter that has the most finder's form in a year. And there's another $250 for percentage-wise your membership. Whichever, I never say that very well, but it's so a small chapter can compete with a large chapter is what it is. So Jean is holding, and it doesn't show well put it up against the wall. That would.
The white wall.
Yeah, the white wall. It shows better. It is a wall hanging, and that will be given away at state conference in April. And the tickets are $1 a piece or 6 for $5. Given away today, there is a wine, cheese, and cracker basket in a cute little basket. And those also are $1 a piece or 6 for $5. And all of those funds, all that goes toward the American History Teacher Award. And I'll be over there.
Thank you very much.
Is that silver oak wine?
Pardon?
Is that silver oak wine?
I doubt it.
Silver oak.
$150 a bottle.
Oh,
And now we'll hear from the state president, Gene Henderson. Thank you, sir.
Good morning. It's great to see you all. Thank you for allowing me to visit today, although I think I really just told you I was coming. I don't know that I waited for an invitation to that. I didn't think so. Can you hear me okay without that thing? No. Yeah. Good. I'll stand real close to you so you can hear me.
Okay.
So I do appreciate the opportunity to come visit such a great chapter today. It's a real pleasure for me. Several of you I have known for several years. For the most part, it's been pleasurable. George, I'm not talking negatively to you. I was the secretary when you were president, right? Isn't that right, sir?
That's correct.
Okay. And so we had lots of interesting conversations, mostly with George telling me what to do, when to do it. As I go through what I'm talking about, if you have a question or something that needs to be talked about more, get my attention and we'll stop. It's only 8 pages long, so I can go through it pretty quickly. Really not, but that's okay. We have 4 state SAR meetings, not SAR meetings, SAR meetings per year. Sorry, sir. And at one of those, the April meeting, everybody gets a vote. So I encourage attendance at all the meetings, but your time to vote is at the April annual meeting. So you can come, please do that. It will be in the St. Louis area this year. I'm sure that your chapter president has already received information about that meeting and will be glad to share it with you. The others are in October, January, and July. And at that one, only your president or past presidents of the state get to vote, like some of the exalted people we have here in the room. Not exhausted, exalted. Sometimes I have to make sure George understands. There are a wide variety of programs as a part of the Sons of the American Revolution. And if you are not involved in some of those programs, I would encourage you to find one of them in which you may become involved. An example of some of these, and I know we have several new members here today, so I'm going to briefly tell you some of the things that you can do that I think are worthwhile. We have oratory, essay, brochure, and video contests for kids. We also honor Eagle Scouts. We honor JROTC and ROTC students. We honor American history teachers. We recognize public service and heroism. We honor veterans. And we conduct grave markings for patriots, patriot sons and daughters, patriot grandsons and daughters, and for our fellow members or our compatriots. Some of these programs take more than one person to do, particularly the grave markings. However, some of them, a single individual can do those things. So when you have questions or you want to be involved in something, your president would be delighted to assist you assist you in learning about the things that can be done. The Missouri SAR participates and did last weekend in one place at least. Marilyn and I were there in Higginsville for Wreaths Across America, and that's a very timely issue. I know that your chapter has been involved, did you say Forsyth? Is that what you told me? Okay. And perhaps some other places. And so I commend you for doing that. It's a great, great program as far as I'm concerned. The George Washington birthday celebration is a joint Missouri-Kansas event in February every year in the Kansas City area. I would encourage you to look into that. And if you feel like traveling a little ways, you can go over to St. Genevieve for the commemoration of the Battle of Fort San Carlos. And if you're not familiar with the Battle of Fort San Carlos, I would invite you to please Google that and find that it is the westernmost battle of the Revolutionary War. And it was in St. Louis, Missouri, underneath the arch. Arch wasn't there yet. It is now. Missouri SAR is very fortunate to be the beneficiary of 60% of one of our compatriots' estates. This man's name was Wilbur Kephart, K-E-P-H-A-R-T. Wilbur lived near Holden, Missouri, was a member of the same chapter that I'm in, and Wilbur, in his trust, left his farm to 3 organizations. The Missouri SAR got 60% of the value of the farm. That farm has been sold, and we now have, and the state treasurer said Thursday night at our Zoom meeting, I think it's $615,000 in that fund now, the Kephart Trust. And we are in the process of establishing investment criteria and disbursement criteria for the earnings from that money. And the idea that those of us on the executive committee have had is that money will be spent for things that are non-budgeted items. So we don't intend for the Missouri SAR to live off of this money, but rather use this money to do unique things. An example would be, perhaps, to place a plaque in the Greene County Courthouse honoring veterans buried in Greene County, to assist with that. I think your chapter, have you done, is it in place yet?
No, it's not in place.
Okay. Those funds would be available to assist with that, to assist chapter in doing that. Another would be to assist at the Fort San Carlos Lafayette marking, which will be in May of next year, the Lafayette tour. So that's the ideas we have thus far. There are, I'm sure, will be many others that roll around in the future. Steve Newman, some of you may know Steve, has done a yeoman's task in preparing the documents to initiate this and to get in place. And in January, we will be voting on an amendment to our bylaws to add this as another fund of the Missouri SAR. Each Missouri chapter is a 501c3 organization. I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but each chapter must file a 990 form every year to IRS. We had a chapter that, and the reason I'm bringing this up, same speech goes to everybody, okay? We had a chapter that didn't do that one year, and then didn't do it the next year, and then didn't do it the next year, and guess what happened to their 501c3 status? It went by the wayside. It's a lot more difficult to reinstate 501c3 than it is to gain it to start with. Our state treasurer has been working with them. I don't know that they have it back yet, but don't let it fail. And treasurer, whomever that is, I don't know, it doesn't make any difference. Please be sure that the state treasurer or state secretary or both get copies of your filings so that they can monitor that.
And check with our treasurer, and he assured me it's everything.
Can you believe treasurers?
And he's not here.
I encourage you, and you all are doing a wonderful job as a chapter. I commend you highly. But continue to work to attract new members, to retain your existing members. And where are you? Steve? There you are. What did you tell me your percentage thus far of renewal is?
85.
85%. That's great. We want it to be 99. Okay? So if you haven't paid your dues yet, get them paid, please. So we've got to be before the end of the year, or then you have to pay a reinstatement fee. Recruiting of new members. The easiest way I know to recruit a new member is to wear a cap that says SAR, or to wear some kind of stuff on your jacket, or the best is these gentlemen who are in Revolutionary War attire. And what happens when you wear that? Somebody comes up to you, wherever you are, restaurant, wherever. What's all that stuff for? What are you doing? What's this mean? And it gives you a wonderful opportunity to say, well, that's the Sons of the American Revolution. Here's what we do. Here's why we exist. And I have found it to work very well. I encourage you to have fun. We have a chapter or two in Missouri that are very staid. I think if some of them smiled, their faces would crack. Yeah, it's okay to have a good time here. And some chapter presidents lead more toward that than others.
How do you spell staid?
S-T-A-I-D. So I would encourage you to do that. Compatriot Fund. I would like for someone to voluntarily tell me what the Compatriot Fund is. Yes, sir.
That's where when you pay your annual dues, you put in an extra $1, and that dollar goes into a fund to help pay for the dues for somebody who has met with financial hardship and cannot pay their dues but desires to remain a member.
Very good. It pays their national dues. Okay? The state waives their dues, and we have asked chapters to waive their dues also. An application must be submitted by your chapter president to the 3-person committee that adjudicates the applications, and those are the 3 state vice presidents. So, and last year we did 2 and 1 this year. Unfortunately, I think the one this year died. That happens. I talked about the color guardsmen already. I can't say enough great things about most of our color guardsmen. So I'm just kidding with that most. About all of the color guardsmen. Sorry, gentlemen. They are the face of the SAR, and they participate in so many activities, and I have yet to see them do anything wrong. So thank you, guys.
You haven't
As
been around
such,
very
though-
much, though.
I don't watch all the time, Gary, you're right.
Trust me.
Maybe that was a bad thing. Clean my glasses, right? As such, children in particular like the Revolutionary War uniforms. We also mentioned several programs that we have at the state level that involve children. If you are in a program that involves children, it is mandatory that you take youth protection training. That protects the child, that protects you as an individual, and that protects the Sons of the American Revolution organization. It tells us how to deal with kids. Okay? And it's a long, drawn-out program to get certified. It's at least 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes online to do it. So most of us have that amount of time. Chapter officers. When do you change chapter officers?
We're actually presenting a slate today to be voted on in January.
All right, so in January you'll change officers. Those new officers who are elected, I encourage them strongly to look at what their duties are. I'm sure at the installation ceremony, the installer will talk about the duties of officers, but a lot of times it's in very general terms. The Missouri Manual of Operations and the Missouri bylaws both talk about the duties of the officers, and the national website has a spot on there that tells you what your officers are supposed to be doing. I'm easy to get a hold of, well, pretty easy to get a hold of. And I have business cards with me, and I would be delighted to give those to everyone that would take one. Marilyn bought a whole bunch of them, and I've got a lot of them left. So, but I would be glad to give those out today. Call me, talk to me, send me an email, whatever. I talked about Marilyn earlier. She is the president of the Missouri Auxiliary for the SAR. She's also the TAR liaison to the SAR and another organization, the Sons of the Revolution. So she's a pretty busy girl. And either of us would be glad to entertain any questions that you might have. If you don't have any, I obviously did a wonderful job. Any questions? I would like today, all you SAR members, before you leave, to present you with one of my challenge points. I have several here and would be delighted to give one to every SAR member in the room.
Sounds like a challenge.
Thank you.
President Henry is one of the most amenable, easy to talk to, easy to contact presidents that we've had in the recent history. And he says what's important when he has to, and he has fun like I do when we want to. A little housekeeping here. The restrooms are out here anytime, regardless of what we're doing, except praying. If you feel like you want to go to the bathroom, please do it. We're family here. We're not that regimented.
Good time. Wonderful time.
At this time, I want to introduce the junior president of the Children of the American Revolution, Katie Scher. She only has a 30-minute speech, but maybe we can cut it down to 2 or whatever. No, I'm just joking.
Hello, and thank you for inviting me to speak to you all today. I'm so glad to have the opportunity to share my project with you all. Homelessness, depression, and suicide are massive problems in America. Almost 50,000 people commit suicide every year. Close to 600,000 people are homeless, and 40,000 of those are veterans. 15,000 of those homeless veterans are completely unsheltered. The Veterans Community Project aims to correct this issue, providing a home and support to every person who has taken the oath to defend this country. Every branch of the military has strict medical, physical, moral, and educational requirements to enlist, and every person who has met these requirements ought not ever be in need of safety or shelter. These men and women dedicate years of their lives to serving their country, and they willingly make the oath of enlistment. This oath states, "I do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to the regulations of the Uniform Code of the Military Justice. So help me God." This is no flippant or thoughtless promise. This is an oath under God to protect our nation. The Veterans Community Project, or the VCP, protects every person who has made this oath. Their goal is, quote, providing high quality and well-developed strategic services that enable veterans to meet the challenges of day-to-day living, resolve immediate crises, and move towards permanent stability, end quote. Many veterans come to seek the help at the Veterans Community Project who don't even know what they need. Many are unemployed, homeless, and barely able to survive. The VCP offers support to any veteran, from a complete dental office to daily meal bags to clothes and shelter. 49 tiny houses are in the Kansas City district of the VCP, and each is equipped with brand new everything, from the bed to the dishes. The veterans can live there for as long as they need to get back on their feet, and when they decide they are ready, they get to take everything with them. At the community area itself, there is a community lodge with activities specially designed for the veterans. A greenhouse sits on the hill just above all the tiny houses, and there's a dog park for the veterans who own pets. The area is pleasant and well situated, and it's perfect for a veteran to get back on his or her feet. As a 501c3 organization, the Veterans Community Project supports our heroes by pouring love and life into them, opening the door for them to achieve success and a better life. They provide all the resources necessary for the veterans. They provide the housing for heroes. By supporting this organization, you support whom they support. By supporting this organization, you support the defenders of America. Thank you.
Take pictures.
Over more.
You're right.
Go to the flag.
How's that?
You should know better by now.
So this is
I know.
awarded the certificate of appreciation and recognition of outstanding support due to the sons of the American Revolution. Did you get it, Mom? Or yeah. And she did mention that she has these little pins, and Gina and Mom's got a whole pile of them for $10 each. And they're a pin that you can wear, and it will support her project. Each junior president has a project. Every year it changes, and the senior, first vice president, senior vice president we saw last night, they have the same project as there. Yeah. Veterans, supporting veterans. I think what I want to do there.
Always gets you in trouble.
Okay, so having not ever done this many inductions at one time, we're just going to wait. Everybody who is here to be inducted, please come forward.
Usually two. Backlog.
Okay, if you would, since we have other names, if you could tell us your name.
Ron Hicks. John Hicks.
And Houston Hicks, someplace.
Yeah, he's outside.
Yeah.
Kyle Wyatt.
Wyatt?
Joe Walker.
Eli Harris.
Going too fast for you, Doug?
Yeah.
Slow it down, then. Brian Hood.
Brian Hood. Brian Wallace.
Jack Robinson.
All right. Now I'm going to need some help from our SA members, if you don't mind, in presenting these certificates. And we have a challenge coin and a rosette. But we also have a ceremony to go through, and the state president will begin that. When we do the rosette, that's the last thing. We'll have the spouse come up for the certificate, whoever you want to pin the rosette on. Okay? So that's totally up to you. Okay, you ready?
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, please respond to the following questions. Do you, as descendants of patriots and heroes of the American Revolution, reaffirm your ancestors' faith in the principles of liberty and our Constitution? If so, please say, I do.
I do.
Will you pledge to support the National and State Society, as well as your chapter, of the Sons of the American Revolution? If so, please say, I will.
I will.
It is with great pleasure this chapter is presenting to you your membership certificate and your record copy. Keep your record copy safe, as you might use it for supplemental applications. Welcome to the Ozark Mountain chapter. We ask and urge you to help us preserve and enrich our American heritage by supporting our patriotic, historical, and educational objectives with your time, talent, and treasure. This is not a charge to be taken lightly. We have a great and unending mission to educate young and old alike to the mighty sacrifices of our patriots and the blessings this nation has received because of the sacrifices of the first veterans. Membership in the Sons of the American Revolution entitles you to wear the SAR badge. Allow me to describe the history and symbolism behind this insignia. It was adopted in December 1889 and is based upon a proposal submitted by Major Goldsmith Bernard West, Vice President for the Alabama Society. The SAR badge consists of a Maltese cross, the same size as the Chevalier's Cross of the Legion of Honor of France, of 4 arms and 8 points, with the arms enameled in white and a medallion in the center bearing a profile bust of General George Washington. Surrounding the bust is a blue enameled ribbon containing the SAR motto, Libertas et Patria, freedom and country. A laurel wreath encircles the medallion, midway between it and the points of the cross. The reverse is the same, except that the center medallion bears the figure of a continental soldier and is surrounded by a blue enameled ribbon inscribed in letters of gold, Sons of the American Revolution. The cross is surmounted by a golden eagle and suspended from a ribbon of the Society's colors, blue, buff yellow, and white. The Maltese cross used in the SAR badge draws its inspiration from the cross used by the Order of St. Louis of France. The wreath symbolizes the laurel wreaths presented to worthy individuals by the Roman Republic. Major West selected the cross of St. Louis as the basis for this decoration because King Louis XVI of France provided badly needed aid in the fledgling Continentals. In choosing this cross, the National Society intended to recognize the French contribution to American independence.
History shows that the Maltese cross was used by the Knights of St. John, a brotherhood of warrior crusaders, who adopted the Maltese cross as their insignia because its 8 points represented the 8 Beatitudes prescribed in the Sermon on the Mount. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are the meek. Blessed are the pure. Blessed are the merciful. Blessed are the peacemakers. Blessed are they that mourn. Blessed are they who seek righteousness. Blessed are they who are persecuted for righteousness' sake. Although the Maltese cross had a religious origin, the Knights of St. John also made it their battle standard for the liberation of all men, women, children who suffered oppression. The principles of freedom and justice for which the Knights of St. John crusaded parallel to the principles our patriot forefathers pledged themselves to when seeking independence from Great Britain. These principles are no less applicable today. May we present the certificates at this time. And then we'll have somebody come up to pin the rosette on Ken. I told him I wanted shoes like that that lit up. I thought that's cool. Not here with me, but could we have the wives or whoever wants to put the rosette on the body come up and do that? Who'd you want? Anybody?
All right.
We have everybody?
Why don't all the new members come over here and we'll just take individual pictures in front of the flags there. We can take all the one time. Okay, 3 hits at one time.
Tell your dad that's worth an ice cream car. Yes, sir.
Passing again.
Thanks, Brian. All right. Hold your certificate upstairs and we'll see it. Yeah, excellent. Okay, can we have a round of applause for our new inductees? Gerald McCoy has a presentation he'd like to make.
My name is Gerald McCoy. I'm a past president of Missouri Society's Sons of the American Revolution, and I have a good friend and compatriot. His name is Gerald. Also, his last name is not also. Yeah. So, anyway, Gerald and I, we have many opportunities with different organizations that we volunteer with. And he's already received his certificate, and he has ordered the medal, a membership medal. So if you are a current or past chapter president, state president, then you're allowed to wear the neck ribbon. If you have not served in that capacity, then it is pinned on your jacket. So I would like to present, he ordered his and it would come in, and you described it right? Oh, yes. And he did a good job of describing it. On the back of it, it even has your membership number. So I would like to present this to Gerald. Now, I must say that we're violating one of the principles of national. You're not allowed to wear anything on your continental uniform that wasn't at the appropriate time back in 1776 in that era. But for today, I will violate that.
Excellent attitude, sir.
It's a good opportunity for education for the new members. Kind of
It's not very focusing on you somewhere.
Oh, that's all right. I didn't know. And have the rosette. And challenge card. We got a basic run flag.
Would Dan McMurray please come forward? And would Gary Gift please come to the front where everybody can see you?
Last month, we, at our veterans meeting, we announced the winner of our Veteran of the Year. We did not have the award at that time, so now I'd like to give him the award. Gary Gift is our Veteran of the Year for the Ozark Mountain chapter.
Move to the flag. You guys stand in front of the flags there. Stand in front of the flags.
Oh,
It's clear enough for Florida.
Okay, Gary, you want to lay that down and come back up, or however you want to do this next one? Watch this. You're out of order.
So as the president, or as the chairman of the nominating committee for new officers next year, it's my honor to present the slate of officers which will be elected next month. So as our past president, Charles McMillan, our 2025 president, J. Howard Fisk, who is ill today, our first vice president, as I call your name, will you please stand up? Our first vice president will be Gerald McCoy. Stand. Second vice president, Keith Jones.
He's not here.
He's going around. Sick. Yeah. Our treasurer, Ben Edmondson. Secretary, Don King. Historian, Jeff Settle. Genealogist will be Steve Perkins. The registrar will be Steve Perkins. Our sergeant at arms will be Dan Feedmill. Stand up, Dan.
I'm trying. I'm vertically challenged though.
Larry Bishop. Our chaplain, Dan Philbrick. And the editor, Dan Elo. So these guys have stepped up and are willing to serve in these capacities next year, so thank you very much. This is the slate that's nominated by the nominating committee. Their nominations will be open for nominations from the floor next month. So if somebody else who would like to nominate, you have an opportunity to do that. Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you so much. So can I have Commander Perkins, would you like to talk about the next few slides? We're in our business meeting now. And like I said, the restrooms are out there or whatever. Anytime you want to go up to either buy a pen from Katie or over here. I gave you $2. That's mine for the wine. I'll take that when I leave. Thank you.
I'll take a few minutes just to read that. This is on the heels of what was mentioned earlier, Reads Across America. I think it's got deep meaning. I think that's got... It's on? There you go. This got deep meaning because it sort of describes what Reads Across America is about. And it's about the soldier. And what we as a country and individually derived from that. So take a few minutes, a few moments to read that. So as you see, the Wreaths Across America began in 2007, inspired by the Worcester Wreath Company. The story is really interesting. They ended up with a surplus of wreaths in that particular year. They worked with their state senator in Maine, who then worked with Arlington Cemetery, and they took the wreaths down to Arlington and placed them on the graves in the older section. That was the section where some of the oldest veterans are buried. In other words, the date of death is further back in time and is less visited. So this was the picture that made this event famous. And now you see that across the country in 3,000 cemeteries, or more than 3,000 cemeteries. I want to give you some member statistics. We're in the dues renewal period right now. We have 119 members who are obligated to pay dues. What that means is it excludes anybody who is approved in the society on 9/1 or after, and it also excludes those dual members who currently have gratuitous dues membership. And those were people who were transferred out of our chapter to Josiah Howell over in West Plains or to the Aaron Mims chapter in Joplin. The total of all dual members is 30, and I believe 5 of those are paid dual members to our chapter. And a few are from other states, and a few are within state. So we have 101 regular dues, and that's how many is paid so far. And we have 17 that have not paid yet, which works out to about roughly 85%. We believe that with the call campaign, we'll probably get most of those paid. Our target is 95% on dues renewal. We've been running very close to that year in and year out. And we have people who pay at the last minute. So we anticipate to recover or to receive their dues payments soon. In 2024, we had 13 new members. That's year to date. We could have approval yet this year. We had 30 new members last year, 12 of which were transferred to the Josiah Howell chapter. Our current total membership, regular and dual, is 155. That's almost becoming an unruly number, but we like it.
They are unruly.
So down at the bottom, some may not be able to see this number, but the color guard, we have 13 color guard members, 2 of which are inactive. They have not participated in events at all for the last couple of years. And this year, 2024, including today's event at the cemetery, we have held 33 color guard events in which 1 or more members have participated. We have some members that have a bent for traveling to other parts of the country and participating in National Color Guard events, or they even go to France and participate in the SAR. So that's quite an issue. This is a list of our new members for 2024. The last one is a supplement, so it technically doesn't count as a new member, but it is a new patriot for that person. I have 17 open prospect files. In other words, 17 members I'm working with at different levels of engagement. And 6 of those are at national. So they're waiting for approval. And then once they're approved, they become members of the chapter. Just like our new members today. That's all. And by the way, for our new members that are here today, we would like for you to stick around. Gary Gibson and I would like to meet with you and talk about you personally, get some information about you personally, and make sure that we provide you with the information necessary to get you engaged with the chapter. Another aspect of engaging our new members is to assign a mentor. In other words, one existing member who will work with you directly, contact you periodically, encourage you to come to meetings, answer any questions that you may have. And it's a very helpful way for a new member to sort of have one person to work with and get to know better and get their questions answered.
All right, thank you so very much.
Yes, sir. Two things I forgot to commend your chapter for earlier. And I apologize for not mentioning these earlier. One is the outstanding effort that you put in for the Josiah Howell chapter and for our friends over in Joplin in recruiting members, training them, and getting them established. And I apologize for not mentioning that sooner, but thank you very much for doing that. The second thing is, I should have mentioned, and I kind of alluded to, but maybe not well, the rich history this chapter has at the state level. How many of you right now are state officers? Hold your hands up, please. There we go, I did. Okay, about 5. How many of you have been state presidents before? Okay, so you can see that this chapter has supported not only itself, but has supported our state organization well. So, sir?
State committees.
Well, and yes, I'm sorry, yes, state committees, a bunch of that. How many of you are state committee chairpersons or at least involved in state committees? Another 6, 7? Okay, so thank you. So thank you for doing it. I appreciate it. Sorry, sir.
At this time, I'm going to ask for any committee reports that we might have. Education and youth, Jones is not here, but do you have anything on that?
We do have posters and brochures. Matter of fact, I didn't bring them in, but I have brochures from
We're going to grade those today.
From Greenwood, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
And Sergeant Ariel Nims has a poster contest they're going to be sending to me too, so
nice.
We're getting more coming in.
Jeff Settles, you want to say anything about the service committee? Maybe the awards that we presented already this year. We did all 5 of them.
We've done all 5. Fire, EMS, police. What were the other 2, Charles?
Life-saving heroism.
Yep.
Right. All 5 have been awarded for this year, so we're set there.
Go ahead. Yes. Thank you. I said that's quite an accomplishment. It was one of my goals to get it. If you hit it early, hit it quick, you can get it done. We're going to try to do the same thing hopefully next year. Don King, do you have anything for history?
There's just 2 or 3 items I need to nail down, but I'm working with some other folks that have more experience than I do in the history end of it.
Do you need a hammer? Do you need a hammer?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
But I've got that on the way as well.
A big one.
Yeah.
How about the treasurer's report and the auditor's report? Probably do the auditor's report. Go ahead, John. The other John's not here.
I review John Hank's treasurer's record every 3 months, and so I did that for the quarter of July 1 through September 30, and as I'll read the report as requested. I have examined July 1 through September 30, 2024 Ozark Mountain Chapter financial records provided to me by Treasurer John Angst. The records consisted of check register, harvest, and CFO bank statements, photocopies of support for deposits and disbursements, and the treasurer's reports for the 3 months during that quarter. In my opinion, based on the documents provided to me, the treasurer's reports from July 1 through September 30, 2024 accurately reflect the financial position of the Ozark Mountain Chapter.
Thank you, sir. We do veterans recognition.
Yes, sir.
I'm the state chair for veterans recognition. We do not have a chapter chair here. In the statewide, we only have one chapter that has appointed a veterans recognition chairman. We have some veterans here who have not applied for the Veterans Recognition Award, either for service or for combat participation. And if you need information on that, please get in touch with me. And we do need a chapter veterans recognition chair. If anybody is interested in doing that, we can get you trained up, and we'll even train you to take over the state job down the road. Late bloomers, he got his veterans recognition 2 years ago, and I know I've talked to some people here, but one of the latest I've been working on is Gary Giff. He's around here somewhere. He got his finally, so we're making some progress. The awards, I got the state to approve purchase of the awards, so individuals or chapters do not have to purchase those. So we can purchase those from the state, and we have a mechanism to do that. Also, just a little piece of history. Last Friday, December 13th, was the 388th anniversary or birthday of the National Guard. The National Guard goes back to December 13, 1636, the original militia units of the colonies, and those are the militia units that formed what became our Revolutionary War militia units. And within the Army National Guard, we have 3 units that have had active status since 1636, and are the only 3 units in the Army authorized to wear or display the Lexington Battle streamer on their flag. Any questions you have on that, or you need to apply for your veteran status, please let me know and we'll get you on the road. Thank you.
And don't be shy on that. I know we sometimes don't want to pat ourselves on the back, but nobody else will if you don't. Get what is due you. Get what's available. It's not the wrong thing to do. It's the right thing. President Henry, would you please come forward?
Sure.
The Ozark Mountain Chapter wants to present you as an honorary member of the Ozark Mountain.
Well, thank you. I'm accused of being honored.
Collect dues or dues?
Twice the amount.
Oh, yeah, right. While I have the floor again, I have to admire the tie back here in the back. It's a wonderful tie. Wonderful. Oh. Thank you.
All right, let's see how this goes. Did I forget?
Charles.
This next slide. Anybody?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks for reminding me. You want to come on up and say it?
Yes, if I may, please. That's what you used to always do to me. I'd like to do that to you.
Yes, no. This is our past president of the chapter, Colonel Chris Raymond.
You done yet?
Army against the Air Force. No moves.
Sorry to take your time, sir.
I appreciate it.
No, I don't need it. Folks, it's that time again to address ROTC and JROTC awards. I love these kids. There's something in them that is in us, and we need to provide these awards, and we will. I'm going to lay this over on the table so it can kind of refresh you. So many of you helped me last year, but I did like 5 last year. I'd like to not have to do that many, but you know I will. You can see I've already signed up for several, but we have all the schools we've done before, and now Hollister is another new school. I'm kind of covering those down in the Branson area to help out. But if you could look at these, I sure appreciate what you did for us last year. This means so much to those ROTC cadets, and I think it stirs them on to not only look back on our history, right, but to look forward to preserving our freedom. And so this means a lot. So I'll lay this over here, and I will be the chairman or leader for this for Charles, and so I'll be in contact with you as we go forward. All right, sir?
All right, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Sorry to take your time.
If I can, I'll probably volunteer for Forsyth because they have a nice meal.
Barbecue.
So I've made this part of my presentation each time, and it's our President General, Darrell Addington, wants to incorporate this, so I've incorporated it in our presentation. The SAR mission statement. The Sons of the American Revolution honors our Revolutionary War patriot ancestors by promoting patriotism, serving our communities, educating and inspiring future generations about the founding principles of our country. Okay, reminders. The next, it's going to be called the CDC again. Chapter Development Committee meeting is on the 7th of January at Steve Perkins' home. Let's see. It's funny you should say that because we have a ladies auxiliary here. Good. And it's Margaret Swales. Anita Philbrick's been under the weather, but Margaret's been doing...
I'm here.
Oh, huh?
I'm here.
Oh, hi. I'm glad you're here. I didn't see you. But anyway, they provide brownies and stuff for our CDC for a brownie. So what would you come down for? Cherry pie? Steak. Scotch. Steak.
Scotch. I can provide scotch.
Do we have anything else that anybody wants to say or get off their chests or remind us about now?
Just
And yes.
You first?
Just to remind the new members to hang around, stay here after everybody else kind of leaves.
Yes, new members stick around.
And buy the pins. Buy the pins.
Yes, sir.
Also, hey, Charles. Me. My son took a bunch of pictures today. Everybody that got inducted today, if you want pictures of it, I put them on Google Drive. So if you want, stick around, come talk to me, give me your name and email so I can make sure I believe I have everything in, but make sure I have it so that way I can send you the link and you can download all the pictures you want.
We're going to leave the flags up, so if any family with new members wants to take pictures in front of the flags, you're welcome to do so.
Ken.
Everyone, please stop by and see Katie and view her project that she's got going. Please buy a pen from her. That helps fund her project for the year. So before you leave, please stop by and see her.
Okay. Anybody else? Jeff?
Yeah, in case you're not aware, at Charles's idea, we are beginning a YouTube channel for the chapter.
I've already got one.
And what we're doing is we're interviewing members here about their patriots. So it's, for once, not about you. It's about what you know about your patriot. We We start off with hopefully describing a little bit of their early history, their contribution to their revolution, maybe what battles they participated in, and then their life after the war was over. So the division is one video per patriot. So if you have multiple patriots, you have multiple opportunities. So see me if you're interested in joining. I believe our state surgeon has already volunteered to be done, but that will be an ongoing project.
All right, appreciate that. And just to make it clear, the chapter has a YouTube channel. This is a separate YouTube channel for the OMCSAR chapter that's strictly only for compatriots telling their stories. Okay? You just want to make sure we're clear on that. Motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor, stand up. The SAR recessional, let's do it. Until we meet again, let us remember our obligations to our forefathers who gave us our Constitution, the Bill of Rights, an independent Supreme Court, and a nation of free men. Chaplain Philbrick, ask God to bless this mess.
Almighty God, as we come to the end of this program, we thank you for the privilege of meeting here together. We thank you so much for the new friends that we have inducted today, and we ask you to bless them on their journey of patriotism and service to the SAR and to their country. And now we commend ourselves to your gracious care and keeping until we meet again. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. This meeting is called